Just make sure I'm doing the right thing. Righty-ho, everyone. Okie dokie, everyone. So come up and onto feet just when you are all ready. Find just kind of nice, kind of comfortable center point just on the mat or the space that you have this evening. If you are listening along to one of my playlists, if you've not already, just hit play and we'll just get going. So heels together, toes together, arms just relaxed and long down by your side. Open toes up to 10 and 2 o'clock and take the heels then just out so that we're in that little kind of number 11 position and in parallel. Arms, they just become relaxed, heavy by your side. And we're going to just begin just by shutting down at eyes this evening. We're just going to start with a couple of breaths in and out. And we don't necessarily need to change the rate or the depth of breathing, but just be aware just of the breath entering the body through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. We'll just slowly just see if we can start to deepen the breath. And imagine the rib cage and the tummy expanding in every direction as we do so. Breath in. Breathing out. Releasing any pockets or areas of tension. The feet, they ground just down and into the mat. Arms just relaxed by your side. Keeping eyes closed if we can. We'll slide forwards onto big toes and we'll slowly drop back and onto heels. Slide forwards, big toes, back onto heels. Testing the balance, just awakening all the little sensory fibers in the feet. And then we settle the weight just into the middle of the foot. Just unlock, release the tension at the back of the knees and let the top half of the body just drop, legs forward. Head heavy, arms are heavy. We take a couple of breaths in and out. Using your next breath out, knees bend, tail tucks under. We slowly, gently uncurl, peeling back up through the body. Head is last to lift, eyes open once we reach top. And once we're here, we're going to sweep the arms just up and just overhead, holding them straight and overhead. We pop the hands just behind the head, stay as you are here. And we're going to lift the chest and breastbone and take a little upper back extension. Settle, come back to center and take a rotation around into one side. Come back to the center, arms glide up overhead. Hands drop down behind head, we rotate around other side. Sweep and glide up through center, we hold. Hands drop down behind the head, we hold. Lift the chest, lift upper body, we extend to ceiling. And then we release, arms glide up and overhead, we lengthen. Dropping hands down, take that rotation around. A breath in, come up tall. Breathing out, dropping around. Breath in, come up tall. Last little one, hold through center, extend through chest and open. Come back up through center, we rotate one side. Arms come up through center. Rotate round the other side. Arms come up through center, we hold, lengthen, stretch, and we relax, release, arms just down and by your side. From here, we take a breath in and we scoop the shoulders just up and in towards ears. Breathing out, we let them melt down the back body. Breath in again, we scoop those shoulders up and into ears. Breathing out, we relax, release, and drop down. And almost think as you release the shoulders of almost like two little bits of chocolate just melting just in a hot pan. They glide down the back. Last one, we drop up, we hold, we relax, release and drop down. Arms nice and relaxed. Keep the feet as they are, roll the shoulders back to keep chest open, and we send bottom back, sweep hands out in front, and we squeeze to come up. We're taking ourselves just to our little simple squat. Bottom goes back, hands come up, and we squeeze to come on up. Good, really nice work everyone. It's a little bit hot and sticky tonight, so you probably don't really need much of a warm up tonight. Good. Really trying to get those glutes active, and at the top we take an extra little squeeze through the shoulder blades to open through chest. Down and up, down and up. With 3, come on up. With 2, come on up. Last one, coming up. We drop down, we hold at halfway. Now we hold with arms out and we squeeze, open arms out, and then slowly come in. Squeeze, open out, slowly come in. This is kind of post-lockdown hug that you're going to give those long-lost relatives. Really nice. We open up that big squeeze and then come back in through center. We've got 3 and release. We have 2 and release. Last one, release, relax, and we come on down. Let's get a little shake. Hands are going to make their way just onto hips, and we're going to invite just a little bit of softness behind the knee. It's like we just unlock that little kind of hinge. So we hold in this position, body stays nice and upright, chest is lifted, a little bit of core engaged, and from here we're going to take a single leg heel lift and lower. Little lift and lower. So it's a little bent knee walking pattern. We lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. 5 and release. 4, release. 3, release. 2, release. Last one, release, hold down. We sweep the arms just out in front. We then extend through the legs as we come up and onto tippy toes. Arms come up all the way to ceiling. And then we drop down. We sink back down into squat, hands sweep up, foot series, roll up onto toes. We extend, we glide, we lengthen, come on up. Heels sink down, hands sink down. And again, sinking back down, rolling onto toes. Come on up. We lower and sink. A couple before this starts to feel like this becomes just a really nice fluid movement without any little pauses or breaks. Good, really nice control. Down and up. Last one. We're going to hold once we reach up top. Hold up here for me. Release the hands just down, just in front of the chest, and we're going to take our little double pulses. Heels drop down, we kiss the mat, we lift up and we pulse twice and lower. Brilliant. Pulse, pulse and lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. With 3, release. With 2, release. Last one, release, relax down, let arms just go. Let's get a little shake. And now find whatever is going to be your little weights for this evening. So if you've got little hand weights, great. If you don't have hand weights, little tins, little jars, little bottles of water, whatever you have got will work perfectly. We're going to do a little bit of combination of kind of lower body, upper body together. And we're going to let the arms from here just drift just down and just by your side. Really think about the shoulders sliding away from ears and the collarbones opening a little. Palms, they turn towards screen, turn towards me. Feet are hip width distance apart. And from here we rise up onto toes, take a little bicep curl and slowly, gently lower. We curl on up. And we slowly, gently lower. Try and keep just this really smooth and almost keep time under tension so that we keep it just nice and fluid up and down. Glide on up, drop on down. A little bit of balance, ankle control is required at the top. So if you're finding that your ankles are kind of popping or kind of clicking out, try and keep control there. We curl on up and we slowly, gently release. Curl on up and release. Lovely work everyone. We've got 3 and we slowly release. We'll take 2 and release. Last one, release. Now spin palms around to the back of the room, so as though you're trying to show me knuckles. Take the feet out just that little bit wider than hip width distance. Shoulders roll back and down. We go back into squat. Bottom goes lower and we take the arms out in front of the shoulders. Squeeze and come up. We sink on down. We squeeze and come up. We are down and up. Down and up. Down and up. We send that bottom back to the back of the mat. Down and up. Strong through shoulders. We've got 5. Come on up. We've 4 and up. We've 3 and up. We've 2 and up. Last one. We're going to drop down halfway. We're holding arms out. Spin and turn palms up to ceiling. High bicep curl. Curl the hands in towards the shoulders. Press away. We hold that little half down position. Good. We curl, release, curl, release. Keep core a little engaged. Curl, release, curl, release. 3, 2. Last one, arms come out. We let those hands come down. We give those shoulders just a little shrug and we give those legs just a little shake on it. We're going to take from here a little change in position and we're going to think about having some softness behind the knee, but almost like you're trying to kind of send your tail out as though you're poking kind of bottom back the way. Both of the hands are going to drop down and it's almost like you're kind of like a gorilla here with the arms just nice and relaxed. We're going to squeeze shoulder blades, just pull arms up by our side and then we slowly release. We squeeze and we release. Squeeze and release. We keep looking down to the floor. Our back is nice and kind of straight, almost like a kind of 45-degree angle. And we keep that little bit of low core engaged to keep us nice and strong. We control that lower, don't let it all go. Lift and lower, lift and lower. We've got 3 as we are. We've got 2 as we are. Last one, we come back in, we hold this position, hands come up either side just of the head, and from here we push out, taking a standing superman, draw back in. Imagine sending both arms out together, we pull under armpits to draw back in, out and in. Keep core engaged, good. Arms are working, we get 3 and in, we have 2 and in, last one, and in, and we relax and release everyone. Shoulders get a shrug and weights that go down to the side. It is quite warm this evening, so if you want to grab a wee drink of water, anything, just do, and I'll just flatten my mat out. Take and find just your little bands. If you don't have a band, don't worry, you can do just the exercise without it. If you've got a band, make it into like a little loop if it's not already, and we're going to step the feet in. And we're going to place that band halfway up shin bones. So we're standing back in parallel, but we've introduced that little band. You don't want it to be too tough, and you're just going to go as far as you feel that you can work with the band this evening. Hands are going to stick just onto hips. We slide the weight onto the left-hand side, but really think about lengthening through that hip. Chest stays upright. Little bit of lower core. From here, we're going to slide the foot out along the mat as we dip down at the knee and we press to come back up. Our little side skaters go out and in, out and in, out and in. Keep the control of that standing leg. Have a wee peek down. Make sure that knee is gliding out over the foot and not dropping in too much. Out and in. If balance with this one's a challenge, if you've got something close by that you can kind of pop a fingertip onto, then do. We've got 3 and in. We've 2 and in. Last one and come on in. Swap over straight away, other side without much rest. Again, lift up through that side, hands stay on hips. Other foot lifts this time and we take that little side skate out and in. Out and in. Good. I like to think about this one, imagining that you had like a sponge under your foot and you were sliding out and over a dirty floor, creating just a nice clean kind of set of lines. Slide out and in, out and in, out and in. We'll take 3, we have 2, last one. We come on in, but we drop on down with feet slightly wider now. So we've got a little triangular base. Hands cross over shoulders, and the bottom goes back a little here. So we're kind of back into that little kind of half squat position. Bottom back, a little bit of core. From here, we're going to take a little sumo kick out to the side and softly land back down. Kick out to the side, softly land down. We kick and down, trying to keep the height quite low so we're not kind of coming all the way up. We stay slightly bent on that supporting knee. So we push out and into the band, one side and center, other and center, side, center, side and center. We've got 3 here, with 2 here. Last one, we drop down, bottom goes a little lower and we go some half up, half down. Little pulses here where we contract and relax those glutes, working through front of thighs as well. We pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up from there, everyone. Legs come together, shimmy bands just off, and bands will go just to the side. Catch the breath again, grab a quick drink of water if you need it. We come just to finish this in standing, just by planting feet back and into that little number 11. Arms relaxed by your side and we're taking roll downs. Now if you know that you don't want to do roll down this evening, go back into corkscrew, just with rotation as a little alternative this evening. If we're coming into roll down, we let the arms just stay relaxed by our side. We almost imagine a little string that lengthens and pulls through the top of the head. The chin's drawn in towards the throat. The back of the head dips as we roll down through the neck. Chin connects with chest. We lift and we drop the shoulders. We add a little softness just in and behind the knees. And we melt from here all the way down towards toes. Head is heavy, arms are heavy. We hang and we hold here. Couple breaths in and out. When we're ready on the breath out, we bend the knees, we tuck the tail under, and we restack spine. Coming up level by level. Come up all the way to the top. Head last to lift, not skipping through the neck, give it a chance just to glide to restack. Breath in here again. Breathing out, chin draws in, head it dips. We roll back down. We lift, we drop, we soften at knees. We glide just down, just towards those toes. Heads are heavy, arms are heavy. We keep a little bit of softness in the back of the knee if we need it, but if it does feel comfortable, we can straighten the back of the knee a little more. Really try and relax head and jaw, make sure they feel completely heavy. We bend at the back of the knees, the tail tucks under, and we slowly uncurl. Head coming up last, restacking. Breath in once we're there. And breathing out one more in your own time. Chin comes in towards the chest, back of the neck closed. We lift and drop just our arms. We soften at the back of the knees and we melt down to the toes. Again, we hang and we hold here completely heavy. Couple of breaths in and out. Knees soften, tail tucks under. And from wherever we are, we make our way just back, just into standing. Restacking, taking your time just to do so. Lovely work, everyone. Once you're there, we're going to take a little position change. We're going to just come just to kind of like the end of the mat so that we've got space to kind of walk out. We're going to use a little kind of shorter roll down to come into a little quick downward dog before we come onto all fours. So the feet, they stay grounded here, just down, just on all fours. Arms relaxed just by our side. Back of the neck lengthens, chin draws in. We take that roll down towards the toes. Now we take maybe a slightly more generous bend in the back of the knees to help the hands meet the mat. And we walk those hands then just on out. And we lift and we lower heels. We pedal out through the back of the leg. The heel drops down and we lift. Couple each side. Working here just at your own pace. If you want to add in a little hold, you can. And we take ourselves then just down and just onto all fours. Relaxing tops of toes just here. We're staying down and on all fours just to begin with, and we're just going to meet the mat with a couple of cats and a couple of camels. So we really just roll through the spine. As we arch the back coming into cat, think about scooping the belly button up to spine, head drops, tail tucks under. And then we reverse, letting tummy muscles go, lifting chest, lifting head, looking up and looking out. We have a couple each direction. And then we'll settle ourselves just into the middle. We'll let the shoulders just slide just down and away, and the chin just tucks just into the chest here. We're going to take our little hovering leg pull nice and early this evening, and we're going to pyramid it. So we're going to tuck toes under. We stay on all fours or down and onto elbows if you know that's a modification that suits you better. We're going to do a 5, a 10, a 15, a 10, a 5, and we're going to hold just this little static position. So working on strengthening upper body and core, let the shoulders slide down and away from the ears, chin tucks into throat, core is engaged. We take a breath in, breathing out, we lift those knees up, we hold in our hover, hold here, we 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax, release, and we lower on down. You've always got the option on all fours to come to a closed fist if that feels slightly more comfortable. Second round, any little adjustments you need to take. A breath in, breathe out, coming up, we'll hold here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and release. Little moment just to breathe, to shake anything out, just to relax, release anything that you need to. The top, the little hardest one, 15-second hold. Breath in, breathe out, come on up, we hold here. Hold, 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 hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release. Little readjustment. Make sure we haven't gone into a rounded spine. We keep everything really strong. We'll feel easier now on the way back down. Re-engage, breathe out, let's lift. We've got us hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and release. Our last one, which will feel super nice and easy now. Little 5-second hold. Breath in, breathe out. Coming up, we hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and release. Toes release, and from wherever we are, we slide back just into a comfortable child's pose. Let head come down and onto mat. Remembering if it hasn't quite made mat this evening, make 2 little kind of hot potatoes with the hands and let the forehead just rest. We're taking a couple breaths in and out. And we ease ourselves up just nice and slowly. We are staying on all fours, but we have the option this evening to add in your little weight for this one. If you find working with the weight becomes a little bit challenging, just ditch it and we'll just do the exercise with it. And there's a couple of little options we'll pepper in depending on how hard you want to work this evening. We're going to keep ourselves kind of back in that all fours position. So come back into all fours. Relax and release the top of the toes. The weight, if we pop that just to begin with, just into the right hand. Those shoulders, they slide down and away. Once we're there, we engage a little bit of core, and we're going to take a weighted single arm swimming. So we breathe out to slide that arm to the top of the mat and slowly come back in. Now the weight will make this feel heavier and harder than you think. And it's not really a shoulder exercise, so don't worry if you feel that your range is a little bit kind of more shallow than it normally is. If you are quite happy working here, you feel you've got lovely control over that lower back and want to make things a little trickier, we slide out left leg with right arm, taking your swim and draw back in. To make things a little trickier, no matter where we are, if we hover those limbs and don't let them come to rest, we'll be working a little bit more endurance here. Good. Glide on out and slowly come in. Think about the lower backs here being completely flat. Imagine you have a little tray of drinks. I normally say a cup of tea, but it's definitely warm enough tonight. A nice fizzy drink with an ice cube in it. And imagine as you glide out, you don't want that little ice cube to drop off the drink and onto your back. We've got 3. We've got 2. We've got last 1. We come down. We hold the weight in the right hand. If you've not got the weight, you might want to add it in for this one. We take elbow into our side, and we're going to sweep past the hip, extending the arm back, and then slowly coming in. We're taking a little spotty cat here. We bend in and we push and press away. If that other arm is getting a little tired or you don't want to wait there, you can do the same in kneeling, just gliding back and coming in. We want to keep that elbow tucked into our side, and it's like we've got a little Sunday morning paper under there, so we push back and in. Tricep extension, working on that little spotty cat. Rest of the posture stays really strong. We are a little tired here, I know we're almost done. We've got 3, we've 2. Last one, arm stays long, little lifts and lowers. We pulse here. Pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We relax and release. Child's pose, just to relieve the arms. Head just heavy. Couple breaths in and out. When you're ready, make your way back onto all fours. Now this next little one is a tough one for the back of the arms. We're doubling up our tricep work here. What I want you to work out is where you'll feel most comfortable placing your hands. We're going to come into Pilates press. Now the most important thing is not your positioning of the body, but what's happening at the arms. Wherever we are, we want weight on the arms, and we want to fold the arms like a little kind of box and then press back up. To make it trickier, take the hands further away, slide the hips down so that we're in a little plank, and we take that little drop down and that press up. We really want to feel the back of the arms working, so wherever we are, we let them fold. We pray down to the mat and we press and push back up. Pray down to the mat, press and push up. We need to be a little bit more kind of on all fours, that's absolutely fine, but we just make sure that it's those little arms bending. From wherever we are, give me 5 more. We've 4. We've 3. We've 2. Last one, and we drop on back. Well done, everyone. Arms working hard. Catch the breath. Little drink if you need it, if you've got one close by. Once we're ready, we come on up and leave that other little side to work before we change position, coming off of all fours. So we slide the weight over and onto the left-hand side. To keep things nice and even, we slide those shoulders down and away. We keep that core engaged. With or without the weight, we stand, we start hand alone, out, and then slowly in. We glide out and come on in. We're out and in, out and in. We slide that arm away, and when you're ready, we add in just that opposite leg, right leg out, left arm out. But again, we think about that little drinks tray in that lower back. Don't let yourself rock. Try and keep those hips really still. We glide out and in, out and in. We've got 3 here. We've got 2. We've got the last 1. Leg comes in and rests. Elbow tucks just in into your side. And remember, we take those little spotty cats pressing back and coming in. Then a little spin around just so that you can double check. Here again, we're sending that weight, brushing it past the hip and drawing in. Brush past, come in, back and in, back and in. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, arm lovely and long. Keep it there. We pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are all done, everyone. Weight comes down and we just find just a comfortable seated position, kneeling cross-leg, long sit, or have we perched just on a chair. Give those arms just a little shake. They have worked hard for us already this evening. Well done. We're going to just take just that left arm just across the front of the chest, hold above or below the elbow, and we just draw that arm in just towards the chest. We take a little spin just to look around and just over the shoulder. And we take a couple breaths in and out. Let the heart rate settle here a little. And then we just let that hand just melt away. Place that left hand kind of as close to the center of your shoulder blades, spine as you can. Right arm comes up just onto the tip of the elbow. And we take a little stretch and extension, encouraging that arm back. Chest lifts and we hold. Couple breaths in and out. Relax, release when it feels comfy, just that arm, just give it a little shake. Right arm, other side, above or below, just wherever's comfortable for you. Hug it in towards chest. Take that look and stretch just over the shoulder. And when we're ready, we just relax and release. Place right palm just into as close to the center of your shoulder blades as you can. Left hand comes up, we just hold just on just to the end. Lift the chest a little, hold that stretch. And we relax and release and just let go from here. Lovely work, everyone. We are going to change position now and we're going to come into long sitting. You might want to now have your little kind of pillow close by, and we have the option with this next little series to add in a set of weights. Weights will work the arms, but they will load the core a little bit more. So depending on where you are in your kind of Pilates journey, if you want a little bit more effort, go with the weights. If you're just getting kind of core back on track, if you're doing a bit of rehab, I would say no weights for just now. We'll try a couple. The pillow is here if you feel that you want just a little bit of support just in your lower back. And what I suggest doing is kind of rolling it up and just kind of cushioning it in, almost as though you were trying to kind of tuck it under your tail. We're going to start just with the knees bent and the feet just flat, just down and just on the mat. We're going to extend the arms out and in front, and I want you to make sure you're kind of right up into those kind of bony points of your sit bones. Almost imagine you're hugging a kind of big beach ball here with the shoulders down and away from the ears. And we start just by softening the lower back, engaging the core, and we roll back, creating a little C shape just in the spine. Now we go back, keep the feet on the floor to that little sticky point. You might almost feel a little quiver, a little shake. Make sure the tummy is drawn in, and then we pull through the tummy to bring yourself back up and onto sit bones. If we want to add in weights, the weights just come into the hands. We hold them, thumbs up to ceiling. We breathe out all together. We drop back, C shape. Look for that kind of little jitter shake. That's okay. That just means you're working hard, but make sure your tummy's engaged. And then we pull up through center. If you are feeling this in the front of the hips, what you might want to do is just play about with the position of your feet, or you might want to just add in that little pillow for a little bit of support just at your lower back. Keep going just at your own pace. We will all be at slightly different levels, and that's okay. We just go to where we feel that we're working. If you're really confident with roll down, we might be almost all the way back and onto the mat, but don't let those feet pop up, and then we pull all the way up. Breathing out to drop down. Little mini hold in to pull on up. A little quiver in my voice. You drop on down. And then work on up. Shoulders stay away from ears. We have 2 more. Soft C shape, dropping back, core stays engaged. And we work on up. And we last one here. Dropping back as far as feels comfy. Feel that core engaged and tighten. Little hold. And we pull on back up. Hands drop down to the side. Little shake, especially if you've had the weights. We can just flatten the legs out a little and just take a little forward fold and pike. Doesn't need to be a big stretch, just a little fold. And if you want, you can relax arms or head onto the pillow. If you're quite stiff in hamstrings, you might find this really tough and you might just want to keep the knees bent. Couple breaths just in and out. Ease just yourself up from the position that we're in. Weights, if they're on mat space, slide them out to the side. Take pillow and take your little looped band again. And your looped band is going to come around your feet. And it's going to come just above kind of ankles. So we're kind of tucking in, if not, maybe even not even quite halfway up the shin. And we're going to pop ourselves onto our side. So as we come down and onto side, we use head pillow really just to make sure that we're nice and supported just up top. The top arm or the bottom arm can be wherever you can feel it's most comfortable, but make sure that you kind of nestle and draw that head pillow down to the shoulder so it's got lovely support. Top hand on top hip, we slide the hips together and just eyeball that little kind of line between the kneecaps and make sure that's perfect straight. Hand comes back onto the hip and we press and push that hip down from armpit so that we're really lovely and long through that top side. We're going to reverse things tonight. We're going to make things a little bit different. We're going to keep the knees together and we're going to lift the heel up and away from the bottom leg and slowly lower. Now this doesn't always feel the most tricky to begin with, but what I want you to work on with this one is that smooth control on the way down. Try not to kind of judder or cogwheel on the way down. Try and keep this really smooth as we lift and as we lower. Great work, everyone. We lift and we lower. Lift and lower. We've got 3 and release. We've got 2 and release. We've got last one. We relax and release. We pop that top hand now just to the mat. Almost make like a little kind of claw, is the only way I can describe it. And pop fingertips on. And we're going to slide the legs out long down and just to the bottom just of your mat. Now you might be able to keep everything completely straight, or you might feel a little unbalanced and want to bring those feet forward ever so slightly. That is okay. Top hip stays down nice and long, and from here we're going to point and flex the toe as we lift, draw the toe back up and then drop back down. So we're taking just a little kind of swoosh and swish, lift and lower, lift and lower. This doesn't need to be super high, but we're just working just to that kind of resistance, that kind of biting point of the band and back down. And it's almost as though we were kind of stirring just a little melting pot just with the toe. We lift and lower. Really nice for that outside leg to get a little bit of involvement here. We'll be feeling it working into outside hip and bum. Really try and lengthen that leg. If you notice you've collapsed a little at the waist, I know I'm a little guilty of that. Good. We lift and lower, lift and lower. Breathe 3, breathe 2. Last one leg comes up, we hold it up. Now we take a little sweep forwards and we flex and drive back. A little sweep forwards, back. Imagine I popped a cocktail spear down and through the hips. Use the hands to keep you nice and balanced because it should only be that top leg moving. Good. Squeeze bum and drive back. And again, if you want to check it's working, pop your hands kind of into your back pocket region and feel that squeeze. We've got 3 as we are. We've got 2 as we are. Last one leg then settles in center. Little mini pulses up top. Thumb is on fire. Give me all that you've got on this side. Pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're out. Well done, everyone. That top hip gets just that little rub that it deserves. Well done. From here, we're going to keep the bands in the same position that they're in, and we're going to just take a little roll just onto our back. Now, I suggest stitching your head pillow, but if you feel that you lose that kind of sense of kind of support, keep your head pillow there. Make sure if you've got a bun or a ponytail this evening that you've slid it off to the side so that the back of the head comes just to ground, just down and just onto the mat, and so that the hands come down and just by your side. Collarbones are nice and long, shoulders are just flat and grounded onto the mat. We take a breath in from here, breathing out. We're going to take just a couple of really nice easy bridges. We tilt the pelvis up to head, we squeeze and engage through glutes, and we're going to roll, peel, lift up and off the mat. We take a breath in to hold once we're up there, and then we treacle the spine back down, all the way back down to the bottom. Relax and release once we're there. Again, we tilt through hips, we squeeze, we roll, we peel, come on up top. One squeeze, nice and equal lift at the hips. We breathe out to release, relax and lower. And last one, we tilt, we squeeze, we roll, we peel, we lift. We squeeze, we hold, we relax, release and lower. We're going to come up for one more that we're going to hold. So let's lift together and let's hold once we're up top. Holding up top, we're going to now add in a little tricky heel raise. So we're going to lift both heels together, coming up and onto toes and lower. Now, if that gives you a little bit of cramp, I can almost hear little virtual hamstrings crying at me. Bring those heels on a little closer to bottom. Lift those heels and lower. We're squeezing back of calf, but bottom stays lifted. We can try and keep that control on the way down. Really great for all you runners or walkers out there. We lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, we lower those heels and we breathe out, treacling the spine back down all the way. Knees come together, we do just a little kind of rock side to side and just let a moment just for that to ebb away, all that little sting, that hard work. Depending on how your setup is, we're now going to pop onto your other side or do a little kind of flip around in the mat like me so that you're taking just your other side up now. Make sure that you definitely do that other side and you don't double up that glute work tonight. Bands and maybe rolls and become a little disheveled, so sort them out before we begin. We come down onto our side again, just exactly as we were. Head pillow just to really make sure we're nice and comfy. Top arm position wherever feels right. We start in that little kind of traditional clam. We've got the ankles, the hips and the shoulders in just that perfect straight line. Top hand comes onto hip. Take that little press to encourage just that top hip away. Remembering that line down the side body should be lovely and long. Knees stay together. Let's reverse our clap. Let's start with a lift and then a slow lower. The reason that we want to encourage that lengthening down the top is if we don't, then we can often fix a little through the lower back, and it just allows the glute to be a little lazy. So if we send that hip away, we can really target that glute. We lift and lower. Keep that control and try and resist your band on the lower. Don't just give in and drop back down. That lower is kind of almost, or if not, sometimes more important than the lift. Good. Keep control. We lift and lower. Lift and lower. Give me 3 and release. Lift 2 and release. Last 1 and release. Top hand comes off of hip, making that little claw down on mat in front. Both legs extend to where we feel comfy, or that lovely long pencil from here. From here, we just start taking that little point of the toe and that flex dropping down. Little point and down, point and down. We're pressing, pushing up against the band. That provides that extra bit of resistance, working in just our abductors here at the side. You might find that you naturally have a little bit of core tightening here. If that's the case, good. If you feel that you need a little, just do that. Hand can act as that extra little other stabilizer. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Give me 3, with 2. Last 1, leg stays long, lifted. We sweep forward with the toe, flex a little, drive back with the heel. Again, pop hand into back pocket, check that we're activating that big, powerful glute max. We should feel that squeeze as we drive that heel back underneath the hand. Good. Slide forwards and back, forwards and back. Remember, rest the body, stay still, leg along working. We've got 3, we've 2. Last 1, leg comes to center. We hold little mini ups and downs. Pulse, pulse, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Release. Everyone's so nice. Well done, well done. Hip just gets that good kind of little rub that it definitely deserves. And when we're ready, we take a little ease of ourselves just up and slide and just shimmy those bands off and just away. Head pillow stays now where it is, and we ease ourselves just onto back. Coming onto back, we find Pilates rest position, making sure we've got space between the heels, space at the knees, and we've got that pelvis and kind of legs in just that perfect kind of line. We let the hands just start just down and by your side, and just let your rib cage just soften down. What's quite nice is if, when we're working online, is if you can take a little kind of peek in a reflection of a screen, or if you can film yourself, making sure that that rib cage doesn't feel kind of lifted and elevated and it's soft and relaxed. Arms, they come just to drop down just by your side. We engage lower core and pelvic floor together. And we're going to breathe out to take us up and into a single leg tabletop, and then slowly lower. Other leg, from here we lift and we lower. Now we alternate to make this a little harder, remembering here my little cue of thinking about having a little spirit level on the hips. That bubble is at the belly button, and as we lift and lower, we're not coming off balance. We stay dead central, lift and lower. Now, if you're just working on core, if you're starting to build your foundations, this might be as far as you want to go this evening. But if you're feeling quite comfy and want an extra little bit of challenge, we'll take a single and a double leg tabletop. Make sure that lower back stays down, tummy stays flat. And we lower one leg down and we lift. We lower and lift. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Lower and lift, lower and lift. Feel that tummy providing the stability. We hinge from the hip. We've got 3, we've 2. Last one, we hold in double tabletop or a single leg tabletop. Hands lift and we pulse them by our side in single or double tabletop. We're taking hundreds to finish that little bit of endurance work. And if you want to, we can take a little lift at the up top. Again, make sure that tummy stays flat. Any of my postnatal ladies here, as we've done this, make sure pelvic floor is engaged and make sure we haven't got a little dome. Hand can come behind head to protect the head. You pulse the arms, pulsing down. If you're taking just your single leg tabletop, swap your legs over for me. Holding there, core, pelvic floor. Breathing in for 5, out for 5. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hug those knees into chest wherever we are, and just take a little rock here, just side to side. Little rock side to side, just massaging that lower back into the mat. Head feels heavy just on your head pillow. So when we're ready, we keep that right knee hugged in, but we let just that left leg lower and drop down. The heel then from here comes up and across on the right, and we press a little on the inside just of the knee. We've thought about kind of opening up through the front of the pelvis here so that we're nice and open. And then if you want an extra bit of stretch, hug and invite that left leg up and in to take full figure of 4. Head relaxes down, arms have scooped that left leg up. And our focus starts just to draw back, just to our breath. Using the breath out to create a little bit of extra space at the hip. And then we just relax leg, just on down. Unfold as we draw the other leg up and in. Knee comes into chest, heel crosses over. Press a little on the inside of the knee to open up your front of pelvis. Holding here, but if you want a little bit more, invite that right leg up and in. Hold. Heads relaxed. Creating space with the stretch, releasing any lingering pockets or areas of tension elsewhere. When we're ready, we let those legs just drop down to take their place just on the mat that feels most comfortable. Perhaps letting knees come together and feet drop out. Soles of feet together, knees drop out, or letting those legs lengthen down just towards the bottom, just of the mat, wherever you feel most comfortable. The hands can be on tummy or down and by your side. And we let the tummy muscles go now as we don't allow any restriction here. A breath in through the nose as we expand and breathe, rib cage and tummy together. Breathing out through the mouth. Breath in again, imagine air flowing in, expanding under rib cage, opening ribs and opening tummy. A little hold, relax and release. Last one here, breath in, hold, relax and release. Breathing just softens, just a comfortable rate. Body feeling soft and warm. When you're ready, you don't need to, you can just stay relaxed if you want to for a little longer. We just wriggle fingers and wriggle toes, letting that movement spread, ripple into wrists and into ankles. Knees bend if they're not already, feet flat on mat, knees together, feet together. You take a little rock here side to side. And then roll just over and on to the side. Ease yourself just up and into your seat. Again, wherever you are most comfy, kneeling, cross-leg, long seat. Pillow if you want any extra support. And we interlock hands just in front of chest. Breathing out, we press hands away, shoulder blades spread as head drops down and in between the shoulders. A breath in to allow us to lengthen hand stretch up to ceiling and stretch with them along the top. We drop just over, just to one side, taking that stretch down, side body. You come back up through center, over to other side. Hands come up through center. We release and just unlock the fingers, press palms out, little nerve slide as we just let the palms come down and rest, just like that. Right ear just drops to right shoulder. Head just rolls down into chest, back of the head heavy. And we slowly uncurl, coming up to center, head bends. Other side, ear drops down to shoulder, head goes heavy. We roll the chin back down into chest. We slowly uncurl, opening eyes. We are all done this evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, especially given that it's so nice outside.
Thanks very much.